Get your seatbelts on and strap it in because we're about to get into some crazy top 10. Thank you for tuning in to Hard News TV4. I'm your host, Terry Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we're digging for it. Today is December 22nd, 2020, and this is probably some of the craziest top 10 stories y'all are going to hear all day. So don't miss any of these. Wow. Okay, y'all, we got to get truth out. Okay, wow. Okay, so we've been saying that the masks are just for the sheeple, to get you to obey, to give up your rights. Now, Senator Rand Paul, the son of Libertarian Ron Paul, who was once a contender himself for the presidency, so he has the inner workings of how political theater happens and what government control mindset is. He's telling you that mask mandates are all about submission. Mandates that claim to be fighting the virus are exercises in making individuals submit to the power of the government, according to Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky. Paul, who has long urged Americans to push back, a U.S. senator is telling you better not give up your power against the virus mandates, was interviewed Saturday by Breitbart. Paul, a physician himself, noted that his core objection is that Americans are being expected, without question, to voluntarily abandon their liberties and their freedom of shaping an individual destiny on the altar of unproven, if not faulty, science. Masks, he said, are all about submission. He says the science and the evidence does not prove that the masks are working when the trajectory is showing an increase of the spread, but yet everybody's locked down and wearing masks. Finally, somebody with common sense speaks out. Now, wait till you see article number 2. Pardon the pun. Article number 2 is going to be checking your number 2s. VA plans poop pilots to detect the virus outbreaks at nursing homes. Okay, sounds kind of good on the surface, right? The Veteran Administration is going to be testing poo-poo water at nursing homes to see if they can find the virus. Let me point out to you why this is dangerous. The Veterans Affairs Department will test wastewater for early indications of the infection among residents, who can then be quarantined to limit the spread to others. So lockdowns, masks, and now checking your poo-poo to limit the spread. As the U.S. continues to post record numbers of virus cases and deaths daily, the Veterans Affairs Department is piloting a wastewater testing program aimed at safeguarding one of the most vulnerable populations the agency serves. Last week, the agency announced a sole source contract to CDM Smith to collect samples of wastewater, poop, and other human sewage from 8 VA community living center nursing homes. As a place for elderly, disabled, infirm veterans, residents at the care centers are at the highest risk of contracting and dying from the virus. By testing the wastewater, which has shown to predict outbreaks 5 to 10 days before they occur, VA officials hope to find early indications of infection among residents, who can then be quarantined to limit the spread to others. Now, what if they say their pilot program was successful at the VA? Then they're going to do it by blocks or segments of cities, and then they can quarantine entire blocks of cities, numerous people at one time, to control, by saying they found it in your poo-poo water. Y'all, this is about to get very oppressive. Well, let's go to article number 3. So we just heard that the corona relief bill just passed, and people are going to be getting $600 a week more. I mean, $600 more. And I think they might get some unemployment money. Well, look at this, article number 3. This is from today, from CNBC News. Millions of workers will have to submit new documents for the pandemic unemployment benefits in 2021. So if you've been on pandemic unemployment benefits, now you have to prove that you're still eligible. The $900 billion stimulus bill passed by Congress this week extends the CARES Act Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program by at least 11 weeks into March 2021. But it also adds a new verification process. You got to jump through some more hoops to curb fraud that could impact nearly 10 million people currently drawing from the program, as well as new applicants in 2021. As soon as the latest stimulus bill is signed into law, individuals currently claiming pandemic unemployment benefits will have 90 days to submit documents proving that they are eligible for the program. Failure to do so puts them at risk of having to return pandemic unemployment benefits funds provided after the bill's enactment. So you're going to have to, the burden of proof is going to be on you. If you can't prove it, then you could be forced to pay back the money. You see what I'm saying? There's no free cheese in the trap. They're going to get it. So while they're giving away all this pork barrel spending in this stimulus package and giving you just a few little crumbs, and then you've got strings attached to your little crumbs, and if you don't prove that you're eligible for their little crumbs, then you're going to be in trouble. Was Hunter Biden? Let me just get off this. Let's go to article number 4. Remember we were talking about the mask of the beast? It was going to lead to the mark of the beast and tracking and tracing and proof and all this. Look at this article from December 20th from WND. Barcodes to prove the COVID vaccination gets floated. Former Democratic president candidate Andrew Yang floated the idea of downloadable barcodes for people's iPhones or phones to prove if they have been vaccinated for the virus. Is there a way for someone to easily show that they have been vaxxed, like a barcode they can download to their phone? There ought to be, Yang tweeted Friday. Tough to have mass gatherings like concerts or ball games without either mass adoption of the vaccine or a means of signaling, Yang tweeted. So all these humanitarians, all these humanists, they are wanting our own enslavement. And look at number 5. This article is article number 5 out of Barron's from today. Anti-vaxxers could face public transport ban in France. So the people that don't want the mask or don't want the vax, we're about to be ostracized, demonized, probably criminalized, and then maybe euthanized. Anti-vaxxers could face public transport ban in France. ADDS poll analyst reacts. People who fail to get a COVID-19 vaccination could be banned from using public transport in France, according to a draft law sparking angry protests from opposition politicians on Tuesday. According to the text, which will now be submitted to Parliament, a negative COVID test or proof of a preventative treatment, including the administration of the vaccine, could be required for people to be granted access to transport or some locations, as well as certain activities. And remember, Rand Paul said we need to be pushing back. This whole thing is about global submission. Y'all remember the Bible study I did on like a snare coming upon the whole earth? And that a trap has been set for the entire earth. And if you don't go along with this new great global reset to act just like all the other little sheeple, then you are a problem, and a problem is going to have to be dealt with. This is article number 6 from today. The United States may require British passengers to prove they don't have the virus before boarding flights. This is getting wild. Let's go to article number 7. Another pre-crime AI system claims it can predict who will share disinformation before it's published. So now they're going to know if you're going to be talking about stuff you shouldn't be talking about. They're going to be knowing if you're doing what you shouldn't be doing. Well, the first thing I noticed on this was that picture. You know, the one eye Illuminati mess. We previously have covered the many weighty claims made by progenitors of the AI algorithms who claim that their technology can stop crime before it happens. Similar predictive AI is increasingly being used to stop the spread of misinformation, disinformation, and general fake news by analyzing trends in behavior and language across social media. However, as we've covered, these systems are more often than not failed quite spectacularly, as many artificial intelligence experts and mathematicians have highlighted. One expert in particular at the University of Sydney noted that from what he has seen so far, these systems are no better than telling the future with a crystal ball. A new artificial intelligence-based algorithm that can accurately predict which Twitter users will spread disinformation before they actually do has been developed by researchers from the University of Sheffield. Y'all, so if they know before we hit retweet or repost on Facebook, if they know that we have the propensity to spread, quote, fake news or disinformation, all it's going to take is for them to pass a law that it's criminal, and then it's going to be pre-crime. Well, we know you didn't do it, but we know you were thinking about it. The new artificial intelligence-based algorithm that can accurately predict what Twitter users will spread disinformation before they actually do has been developed by researchers from the University of Sheffield. I think we need to all get off social media. Let's go to article number 8. So the other day we talked about that Russia now has the ability to take down the entire U.S. electric power grid. Okay, and so I was talking about something that's going to happen for them to be already, preemptively blaming Russia for having the playbook to put us all in the dark. Well, this article is from yesterday. China restricts electricity use amid coal shortage, and they're predicting this is going to be one of the coldest winters, and they're cutting electricity from people's houses. Despite the swift industrial recovery from the pandemic, factories and areas in China are working only part-time, and residents in several provinces are asked to save electricity while authorities are turning off streetlights and billboards warning of coal shortages this winter. In at least 3 provinces in China, authorities have ordered limits on electricity use, saying there could be shortages of coal. The New York Times reports that at the same time, Chinese authorities vehemently deny the potential shortages have had anything to do with diplomatic spat with Australia, which has turned into a true energy trade war, with China banning imports of coal from one of their major suppliers. So y'all, their dark winter might be a cold winter, and they might be calling it a dark winter because they're going to cut off all of our electricity. It's about to get crazy. Let's go to article number 9. This article is from today. Y'all remember that nurse that passed out getting her shot? Jab mystery. Tiffany Dover dead, rumors. Hospital denies outlandish claims. Missing nurse who fainted after COVID jab has died. Nobody has seen her. The Tennessee nurse who passed out on live television after receiving the coronavirus vaccine has vanished, sparking outlandish claims that she may have died. Tiffany Dover has vanished after she fainted after receiving the vax. She has since been inactive on all of her social media accounts and has not been seen in the public eye. This has led to users to flood her pages with comments and concerns. Rumors continue to circulate of her death. After the outlandish claims of her death continued on Twitter, CHI Memorial Hospital issued a statement via their Twitter account stating that Dover was alive and well. The hospital wrote, "Update, Nurse Tiffany Dover appreciates the concern for her safety. She is home and doing well. She asked for privacy for her and her family." Oh, like she can't say that for herself? I just heard that Tiffany Dover, the new nurse who fainted after the COVID shot, is dead. Her friend on Facebook said this, and her family is getting death threats, so they shut up. There's also a gag order, one tweeted. Why would there be a gag order? This other article is from yesterday. Missing Tennessee nurse Tiffany Dover sparks death rumors. Netizen slams hospital for issuing statement. Tiffany Dover's absence from public eye in her social media pages days after she fainted after getting the virus vax have sparked online rumors of her death. Dover is a registered nurse at Tennessee-based CHI Memorial Hospital. Several users are visiting Dover's Facebook page to inquire about her well-being. Dover hit the limelight after she fainted while talking to reporters soon after taking the vax. Her condition fueled a lot of speculations regarding the safety and side effects of the vax that was rolled out by Pfizer last week in the United States. Dover is not dead, claims hospital authorities. Her fainting spell sparked fear amongst several. Dover had claimed that this was not a reaction to the vaccine. "I have a history of having overactive vagal response, and so with that, if I have pain from something, a hangnail, or if I stump my toe, I just pass out." I don't think they would let her be a nurse if that was the case. Can you see her working in an operating room and stomp her toe and passing out? Scaffold, please, and she pinches herself and falls over. Really? Sadly, I'm hearing the nurse who collapsed, who took the vaccine, has passed away. It seems social media is trying to stop the family from speaking out, yet they are trying to nonetheless warn people. I hope this is wrong. From what I've seen, it looks so true to be true. It says, "Me too. My mom doesn't want her name released to the public. They're going to do an autopsy and release her body to us within 48 hours. She wanted to be cremated, so we're doing a small family ceremony." So, I don't know, y'all. I'm going to leave y'all the link to this. But we haven't heard from her. We've only heard from her employer, and there's no activity. Y'all please leave me your thoughts on this, and let's go on to article number 10. I told y'all to strap in for these today. And this article is from December 20th from Toronto. Ontario to implement province-wide lockdown on Christmas Eve. We know that Britain and the UK is going on full hard lockdown, and now Ontario is. Southern Ontario to be under a 28-day lockdown, 14-day lockdown for Northern Ontario, sources say. Ontario government is poised to impose a province-wide lockdown starting Christmas Eve, sources confirmed Sunday, as the province logged more than 2,000 new cases of the virus for a sixth consecutive day. A 28-day lockdown for the southern portions of the province south of Sudbury, Ontario, will begin at 12:01 a.m. on Thursday. How nice! How nice. On Christmas Eve, they're going to lock everybody down. So if you had plans to go see Grandma or Aunt Susie, you're not going nowhere. So I just want to bring y'all these top 10 today. Senator Rand Paul just talking about all of this is about submission. Y'all please leave me your comments below and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.